Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Xplained, where we take a deep dive into the biggest stories of the day. It has been over a month now since Donald Trump's election victory in the US presidential election, where he won decisively against Democratic nominee Kamala Harris. In the lead up to the election, the term Project 2025 became a focal point of criticism from Democrats, and Trump worked diligently to distance himself from it.
But the consequences of putting him back in the White House are extremely serious. Extremely serious. Just Google Project 2025.
Their Project 2025 will make things much, much harder for people who are just trying to live their lives. They spent a lot of time pretending they know nothing about this. But look, I coached high school football long enough to know, and trust me on this. When somebody takes the time to draw up a playbook, they're going to use it.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything.
However, the landscape has changed significantly, and now Trump's transition team seems to be embracing this mammoth conservative manifesto. So what exactly is Project 2025? Who authored it? What policies does it encompass? And what implications could it have for the future of American democracy? We'll explore these questions and more in today's episode. Project 2025 is produced by the Heritage Foundation, one of Washington's leading right-wing think tanks. This extensive document outlines policy proposals aimed at guiding the Republican presidency and is crafted every election cycle. Essentially, it's a 900-page wish list that seeks to expand presidential power while promoting an ultra-conservative social agenda. The roots of Project 2025 date back to 1973, the year the Heritage Foundation was founded. Its mission has long been to shape America into a more Christian conservative nation.
To give you an idea of its size, its estimated revenue recently was $106 million a year. So it's a big organization. It's well funded. It connects up with lots of people and organizations within the conservative world, which gives it influence and status.
The organization has produced similar documents for past presidential elections, including one for Donald Trump's initial campaign in 2016. But back to Project 2025. Let's visit some of the controversial policies in the document that is most in contention right now, named the Mandate for Leadership. Project 2025 proposes that the next president should unwind racial, gender and equity progress of the Biden administration on climate change and racial justice. Furthermore, the document labels the FBI as a bloated, arrogant and increasingly lawless organization and calls for the complete elimination of the Department of Education. Abortion is mentioned around 200 times in the document. While it does not call for an outright nationwide abortion ban, it does propose withdrawing the abortion pill mifepristone from the market. In terms of immigration, the document advocates for increased funding for a wall on the US-Mexico border and suggests dismantling the Department of Homeland Security. Additional proposals include eliminating visa categories for crime and human trafficking victims, as well as increasing fees for immigrants. Project 2025 also calls for the next president to stop the war on oil and gas, stating that carbon reduction goals would be replaced by initiatives to increase energy production and security. The document also calls for school choice and parental control over schools and takes aim at what it calls woke propaganda.
In terms of its positions on policies, some things are very much the same. Advocacy for small government, focus on what we might consider to be the culture war issues, things like religion, abortion, prayer, the role of education. Its own statement says, to quote, that its role is to take down the deep state and return the government to its people. Now, the language of the deep state is very much new. It's something that's come up in the last few years, this idea of a little small group with control within the larger government. But some of the ideas that are embedded in that have been around in US politics, particularly conservative circles, for quite some time.
Now, let's continue to explore the implications of these proposals and what they might mean for the future of the country. Despite Trump's initial disavowal of the project during his campaign, his administration has leveraged its extensive personnel database to identify potential appointments for the incoming government. One notable appointment is Brendan Carr, who Trump has designated as his Federal Communications Commission chair. Carr's role will be to regulate the media across the United States, focusing on public safety and homeland security. Carr was the author of the FCC chapter in Project 25's Mandate for Leadership, advocating for a focus on curbing big tech while promoting national security and economic prosperity. Another key figure is Pete Hoekstra, the newly appointed US ambassador to Canada. Although it's unclear how he contributed to Project 2025, the Department of Education chapter references a critical report he produced while in Congress. Tom Homan, the former acting director of US Immigration and Customs Enforcement during Trump's first term, is also mentioned as a contributor to Project 2025. Trump has tapped him to serve as border czar, a new position that bypasses Senate confirmations in reference to mass deportations. Caroline Leavitt, the new White House press secretary, has connections to Project 2025 as well. In August, unpublished videos from Project 2025's Presidential Administration Academy surfaced. It featured Leavitt in a 30-minute instructional video titled The Art of Professionalism, designed to train potential future administration members. Throughout the campaign, Vice President J.D. Vance tried to distance himself and the Trump campaign from Project 2025. However, he remains a significant ally of Heritage Foundation and noted collaborator Kevin D. Roberts, the president of Project 2025. In fact, Vance even wrote the foreword to Roberts' forthcoming book titled Dawn's Early Light: Taking Back Washington to Save America. We will find out in January when Trump takes office if he will keep distance from the plan or he will use it as a blueprint for his Trump 2.0 term.